Welcome back, sports gamers. It's the Natural. I wanted to bring you guys my method for returning kickoffs for touchdowns in Madden 17. It's definitely a little different than last year, as defenders do a better job of maintaining their lanes and getting off block this year compared to Madden 16. This year, you don't have to rely on any jukes or special moves to break free on the return, but you do want a 94 plus speed return man, as speed makes all the difference in being successful on kick returns this year. First off, you want to be sure to select return middle on the return. If that's not available, you can always audible to return middle before the ball is kicked off by pressing square twice on PS4 or X twice on Xbox. Similar to last year, the key to a successful return is getting the kickoff team out of position and out of their coverage lanes. Even though they do a better job of that this year, you can still do it, and here's how. When you receive the ball on the return, you want to turbo at a sharp angle in the direction opposite of where you want to wind up. You can see the defenders aggressively react to your turbo and go in that direction following you. After that initial burst, when you receive the ball, let off the turbo. Do not hold the turbo down. This is very important, as it not only saves your stamina, but it will also give you that sudden burst you need to break open the return open when you change direction. Once you have the kick coverage out of position, that's when you hit the turbo and burst back in the opposite direction. When you cut back, your blocker should be in perfect position for down blocks on the coverage team and creating an opening for your return. Just like last year, this isn't something you want to take on the field right away. Get into practice mode on kickoff only and practice this first. Once you master how to set up your blocks, you'll have much more success in taking them back to the house. Let's take a look at some live gameplay of a return.
Here comes Philip Dorsett now to return it. And an alley to run. 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
As soon as we get the ball in return, you can see that burst to the right. And I'm saying, at this point, once you get that first initial burst of turbo, get off the turbo button. Let it go. I don't have turbo on at this point. You can see the defenders getting out of their lanes. Look at them following you, but you can change direction quicker than they can. Out of their lanes, and look at the down blocks all start to line up, down block, and freeing you break wide to the wide open. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tip. If you did, smash that like button and subscribe to Sports Gamers Online. This is The Natural. I'm out.
Okay, so you now know how cover 2 works, and the wrenches Madden 17 is thrown into the mix with allowing defenders the ability to man up on the fly. So now I'm going to go over how to beat it, knowing all of this. One of the ways to beat cover 2 is by attempting to isolate one of the deep safeties on our receivers with a 2-man route combination. All the ways I showed you how the defense tries to cheat to give the 2 deep safeties as much help as possible while still technically playing a cover 2 defense. You want the defense to play more honest and highlight all the reasons cover 2 cannot be played against you. And the way to do that is by utilizing at least one slot receiver to spray the defenders and cause the middle linebacker to cover more ground if he wants to defend the deep middle. It's a lot easier to cover a streaking tight end down the middle, but not so much if the receiver is coming from here. And most importantly, you want to force the rest of the underneath defenders to play more honest and cover their own zone so they can't cheat and drop deep or convert to man on the receiver when their own area is about to be threatened.